and let's talk about bondage. Whew. So bondage. Anybody know what that is? I know y'all do. Bondage is something that holds you captive for as long as you will allow it. Bondage. So I'm gonna give some type of scenario that can happen that will keep you in bondage. When people get molested, raped, when people been neglected from parents that were either mentally ill, either were substance abusers, alcohol abusers, whatever, child been neglected, either some type of pain or turmoil that happened in your life that caused you so much affliction that it did a lot of damage to you that you can't let go of. So you living in bondage. And one bondage that I can relate to is self-esteem bondage. Being in bondage of not loving yourself. I'm gonna speak on that first, then I'm gonna speak on some other bondages. But holding yourself in captivity of bondage, meaning that you don't feel superior. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't love yourself to no degree. You will accept anything that's being dished out to you, whether it's be in a relationship, whether it be in a friendship, whether it be family, whatever. Like, you feel low of yourself at all times, meaning that you don't believe that you're beautiful. You don't believe that you can be nothing. You don't believe that you can succeed. You don't believe anything. Like, everything is just out of whack with you. And what is caused from is majority of time, low self-esteem is from self, right? But it comes from the foundation that you're brought up in. So if you weren't brought up in that foundation where they taught you how to love yourself, or they destroy your confidence, like verbal abuse, emotional abuse, that could be the reason why you might have low self-esteem. It could even be just yourself. You looking in the mirror, just don't feel like you're pretty enough, you good enough, and you just tore your whole self up, and now you feel low of yourself. It could be numerous of reasons why you have low self-esteem, but that can keep you in bondage for the rest of your life, meaning you're gonna walk around majority of your life, if you don't catch it, or all of your life if you don't catch it, feeling like you're nothing, feeling like you can't achieve nothing, feeling like you just not good enough, feeling like everybody else is better than you, feeling like you just a mess. That's all I can say. And it's not funny, but that's what it is, being in bondage. Bondage is something that's keeping you captive. So you keep dwelling on the things that happened in the past, and you can't move forward because you study holding on to something that already happened. I mean, when you in bondage, meaning you holding on to shit that was in the past, and you still holding on it in the present time. You gotta let that shit go. Like, it got to be released up off of you. That's what bondage is. Like, being held captive. Like, you have to be released from bondage in order to be free. In order to be free from resentment, from jealousy, from envy, you have to release those chains, breaking bondages, because people walk around with grudges on them and not even realizing it. Like, it's in the back of your head that nigga did that shit to you back in 2000 and whatever, or 1980, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's back in your brain that this nigga did X, Y, and Z to you, and every nigga that come forward has to suffer. Because you in bondage that you can't trust no nigga, because all niggas ain't shit. That's bondage. You know, you living in bondage because you can't trust no nigga, because every nigga that you been with, that you brought in your circle that you attract. Your energy is attracting these people that you're with. So that's the reason why you keep on dealing with no good ass niggas, because that's what you projecting out to the universe. So that's what you gonna get in return. So these niggas that done you wrong, you in bondage because you can't believe that you can attract anybody good, because every nigga that you been with fucks you over. Oh, excuse my language. I don't even speak like this, but I'm just giving you an example. You in bondage and you got to be free. You got to let that thing go so you can release those chains, so you can know that I am worthy. What I accepted before is not what I'm going to accept right now today. I know that I'm worthy of being loved. I know that I'm worthy of someone being honest and loyal to me. I know that I am worthy of being in a committed relationship or marriage. I know that I am worthy to be loved and treated like a queen or king. Yeah, shake that bondage off. Let it go. See, another bondage is when people get molested or raped. That's some deep shit right there. See, my mouth is reckless, but it's deep. And that pain resides so deep up in that soul that sometimes you think that you let it go, but you didn't. You didn't. So you turn yourself over. You in bondage when you don't accept what happened to you. You want to put it on the back burner like, oh, it didn't happen. Oh, it happened, baby. We have to face that our pain and our turmoil, or it'll eat up at us. It'll eat us dry. It will eat us where we'll have all type of diseases up our ass. Do you hear me? We have to let these things go. I mean, a lot of people that get molested and touched be turned out to love the same sex, and I don't got no problem with the look. I'm not against people that do whatever they want to do. That's their business, and I'm not trying to touch bases on that. The topic at hand is when these people get touched or molested, majority of the time, they don't even want the opposite sex no more, because that's who hurted them. They in bondage because they haven't released those chains. They still thinking about that person that done those things to them, that they don't even want to be in the presence of the opposite sex, because that's who did it to them. They feel more comfortable with the person that's the same as them, that never done nothing like that to them. Bondage. We got to let certain things, we got to let it go. We got to let it go. If we don't let these things go, it's going to tear our life apart. It's going to destroy us mentally, physically, emotionally. It's going to mess our spirits up. We're not going to be right as a person, and our energy is going to be off. Bondage. We got to let it go. We got to let them break them chains. Let me tell you something. There's niggas out here that can't even be faithful. Bondage. You know why? Number one, I don't want to get too deep, but number one, their upbringing was not right. They never was taught what commitment is. They never even was taught how to love. And their parents either neglected them in some type of formal way that I stated earlier. And that is a way that they can release that pain, is jumping from one female to the next female to the next female, because they don't love themselves, so they fully cannot love another individual. Bondage. So, man, bondage is deep. I mean, I can be on this thing all day talking about bondage, but I'm not, because I don't want to kill y'all with time. I have talked enough about it, but we got to release these bondages off our life in order to move forward. Anything that's holding you captive in your life, you have to release those chains. Because if you don't, it's gonna damage you. And it will slowly do it, gradually kill you without you even knowing. Because anything that you holding within inside yourself, that resentment, that pain, that grudge, it's holding in the inside of you, and you don't talk about it, you don't discuss it, you trying to hide it, you trying to mask it with certain things in your life. I can name a few: drugs, alcohol, sex, exercising extremely, like to the fullest, where, people overeating, comfort zone. That's comfort. We gotta release the bondage. No more mask. We can take those masks off. Y'all heard that song, Mask Off. Y'all know I'm finna get into it. Mask off. Take it. Mask off. Take it off. Because it's time for you to live. It's time for you to live. It's time to live your best life. Because what was behind is exactly what it is. Back there. Leave it back there. Let it be. Address it. Face it. Release it. And take flight. That's it. You got to let that thing go in order to move ahead in life. Because if you do not let that thing go, it's going to eat you up. And it's going to tear you apart. Okay? Mentally, like, that's how cancers get formed. That's how people get high blood pressure and all type of other diseases up the Y2Cs. You know what I'm saying? Like, bondage. Let it go. Y'all want me to address this topic again? I can get into some depths about this. But bondage, woo, whatever you facing, baby, let go and let God. Yep, I said it after I cursed a million times. So what? I ain't perfect. That's the problem. Y'all think everybody that believe in God, everybody that's a Christian is perfect. No, we not perfect. Like, we are humans. We in the flesh too. We make mistakes. But God is working on me and he still loves me. It's the same way he loved me when he created me in my mother's womb. Stop being judgmental. That's all. Let it go. Stop worrying about what other people's lives and what they do, and work on yourself. Bondage. Y'all have a good night.